everybody. It's Elizabeth Willis with the Wachter Group. I am so excited to share with you a very special individual that does a very special thing that not many of us know much about. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Leah Henrichsen, which I said I wouldn't mess up, and I still did. And with AnimalCity. So without further ado, I don't want to steal her thunder. I'm going to give the floor to Leah and let her tell you a little bit about her and what her company does.
All right, well, thank you, Elizabeth. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can see what we're talking about. So I'm Leah Henrichsen with AnimalCity. We're a fairly new nonprofit organization, and we're dedicated to helping pets whose people have passed away. But first, there we go. I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am and why I'm doing this. So again, I'm Leah. I've done some fun little adventures, but my main why are these guys right here. I've got 1 dog, 4 cats, 3 chickens, 1 rabbit, and assorted goldfish and koi that will not be pictured ever. So,
oh my gosh, they're so cute, Leah.
They're my babies. I know, right? They're pretty sweet. So a few months ago, actually years ago, my husband and I got into a car accident. So that was really fun and scary. It wasn't horrible, it wasn't bad, but it started me thinking what would happen to my pets if it had been a really bad accident. And we live here in Charlotte, but we moved here from California. And so all of our family is on the West Coast. So our pets would really be in a bad situation if something were to happen to us. So that's how the genesis of this organization came to me, is I need a place for my babies, and I need them to be safe. So the initial services that we're starting to offer is we want to do crisis response. Obviously, if something happens, we want to be able to get in and help your pet be safe right away. Transportation of pets to where they need to be, and then forever care, finding a new home if something unfortunate were to happen to you. So how we do that is we create a unique forever care plan, which includes that emergency response, an intermediary plan until we can, get to that final phase of a long-term care plan for each pet. And it can be really unique, right? So some of my cats do not need to go with my dog, and some of my cats don't need to go with my other cats. So we can make it really unique to each pet that you might have. We have a lot of really fantastic plans. Our initial goals. We have a lot of goals, and we want to really we want to create a really awesome volunteer foster network. And that's the way that we're going to help these pets be safe really quickly, is to get them into foster care, and then bring awareness to all the pet parents about having a plan for your pets and why is that so important. We're also building an amazing pet partner program, which provides really awesome benefits to our patrons. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. So we need a volunteer program. We're talking about educating people, pet partners, working with them to help, make our organization more beneficial, veterinary services, training programs, boarding facilities, grooming, and even photography.
Well, that's a lot. Do you mind going back for a second? Because I actually have a quick little question.
Yes, we can go back if I can figure out how to go back. Let me see if I can figure that one out. That's going to be fun. Let's see, that way. No.
Well, that's okay. I remember.
Here we go.
Okay. Easy enough. So
easy enough.
I threw this out there. We weren't expecting this, but
that's okay.
I have been hearing more and more of my friends and family that are wanting to kind of go what would probably be considered the extra step with some of their pets and do various types of training. Could you talk a little bit more about what kinds of trainings you guys specifically are offering, and what that looks like?
That's a great question. We don't actually ourselves offer any training programs. We partner with existing trainers to to help with their services. So right now I have one dedicated dog trainer she works with a no fear method. She's certified in the no fear method, and she just helps train dogs in, being their best dog self. And
Okay.
she's fantastic, and she offers a discount to our patrons, which is the partner program, which is really cool.
Like
So
discount.
yeah, it's just a little discount, to help make that easier, because training a dog can be really tricky, and
Yeah.
such a crucial step that I think unfortunately a lot of dog parents miss out on. And then they have a problem dog that then becomes becomes a hardship for them to continue to keep, because they have these personality problems or issues that maybe a little training could have helped. So, and
Absolutely.
just as an FYI, I've got an 8-year-old dog, and we are training him on new things all the time. So you can definitely train an older dog on new tricks. He
I
loves
love
it.
that.
It's his favorite.
That's great. Yeah, because I've known a few people that, brought a dog into their world, and like you said, just little things that made it hard to be a good fit, where, having someone that could train them through that to make
Yes.
sure they're just being themselves, and just helping them through that so that can be a good fit would be pretty great. Yeah,
It's
to
really great.
keep the
Yeah,
dog.
absolutely. It's one of the most important things I think you can do as a dog parent, is to have that dog and train yourself how to train the
Right?
dog, right? Learn what
Exactly.
they need to be their best selves.
Yep. Just like people, they have their love language, I'm sure. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the time it's food.
yes, no surprise there. I think that's what it is for me. So,
Right? Exactly.
awesome. Well, carry on. Sorry to
Alrighty
interrupt,
then.
but
So we've got a ton of future plans. This is the very short list, but we'll go through it really quickly. So I want to have a facility, a rescue facility where I can actually intake pets, so that we're not reliant on a foster being available right in that emergency situation. We have a place for them right then and there. That's a few years down the road. I want to do some outreach programs, helping seniors with their pets, keep them longer in their house, making sure that they can take care of them properly. And I want to do elder care facility visits with pets, because as you know, being a pet lover, that animal bond, it's very special, and it's good for your heart, and it's good for your soul, and it gives people something to look forward to. And I think that unfortunately most care facilities don't allow pets, but this might be a way to at least alleviate some of that, and bring in some pets. Another big plan that we have is to really expand the organization, regionally first, within the Carolinas and our neighboring states. But I really believe that this is an organization or an idea that needs to be national. This is a service that's really needed out there, and I think we're the ones to do it. So we're gonna work on that as we go. So one question I get asked a lot is, how can we help AnimalCity? So we're just still in our initial phases. We filed some paperwork in May, and we opened our virtual doors in July. We're still needing connections and introductions to a lot of people, so we can start to build our network. We need volunteers first and foremost. If you are a willing and able foster volunteer, you are some of the best people that I know, because you are the one providing that safe space for that animal in that emergency situation. We're looking for obviously, I just said foster parents. I don't know what I meant by volunteers then. I guess other volunteers that want to just help us in any way that they can. We appreciate them too. We're looking for dedicated animal lovers, pet service businesses. If you know someone who is a pet service business, a groomer, a dog trainer, a dog walker, that kind of thing, I'd love to talk to them about our pet partner program, just to see if they'd like to be involved. We also connect really well with estate planners, because as you're making plans for your life, this is one of the pieces that you don't want to forget. And obviously pet parents. We want to talk to pet parents and help them make a plan for their pet. You can also help us by following on social media. We've got a fun little social media out there that's got, mostly cute animal video doing things, but also some information about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and, why is it important to do it. So we're at AnimalCity Haven on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. TikTok's a little thin because I'm still learning how to use it, but there's some fun stuff out there already.
Yeah, I think TikTok and Reels and all that, they know me pretty well because it's like animal.
Right?
So I'm like, it knows me,
I guess you've learned my preferences. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Thank you. That's what I want to watch.
So at the end, I just want to say thank you for having us here. There's my contact information, and obviously we can put that in an easier format to get at. But
yeah,
we really appreciate the welcome that we've received, and for having us on here, Elizabeth. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time. And I have a few more questions that curious minds wanted answered. If you have a few more minutes to chat through some of that.
Absolutely.
The biggest question I think to just start with is if you could break down just a bit more the services that you guys provide as of today.
Sure. Today we provide planning services. So, and what I mean by that is we take a look at your life, we take a look at your pets that you have in your life, and we talk to you about what you would like to have happen with them if something were to happen to you. And it could be that you've got a cousin in South Carolina, or a godparent in another state, or maybe it is your next door neighbor that has said to you that they're willing to take your pet if something happens to you. Well, what we do is we then formalize that into actual documents that can be set up to use after your passing, so that they know that that animal is actually passed to the new owner. And we then help make that happen. Meaning, if that cousin in South Carolina is willing and able and ready to take that pet, we'll then get the pet to the new godparent. So we provide that transportation, right? And we also provide that emergency service, like, the right away that animal cannot wait 3 weeks or 6 months for a will to be read,
right,
before somebody's taking care of it. So we provide that initial emergency care until that next phase can be figured out. And then if all of the godparents that you might have lined up fall through because people have babies and move into houses that don't allow pets, stuff happens, life happens. We know that that's the truest fact. We then become the people that will help find that pet a home, so that you don't have to worry that your pets will go to animal control. So those are right there. That's our service level right at this moment.
Perfect. Yeah. And I sit here and think I just finalized wills, trust, stuff like that just last week. And I was thinking about gearing up for this. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have to get with Leah, because it didn't even get brought up about pets. In that whole conversation, we got down to like artwork if we wanted to, but we never talked about pets at all.
Yes.
You have pets, what happened to your pets? So it's interesting to have gone through it just last week. And it's just not something that we think about. And certainly we do care and think about our pets every single day.
Yeah, but the likelihood is that you will outlive your pet, which is totally understandable. So it's not something that's in everybody's mind.
Right.
But that's one of the reasons why I want to connect with estate planners, is to have them ask that question. Because it's just not being asked yet. And I think it needs to be part of that planning process.
Absolutely. Because as I sit here and you're talking, I'm like, my niece is 5. She loves my cats. She's not going to take care of my cats.
It's not appropriate. No.
Or so-and-so's allergic to cats, or, so it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had ahead of time.
Yes.
Which kind of brings me into the next question. Why do you feel that it's important to make a plan for your pets at really any age and any stage of life you might be in?
Yeah, I think it's super critical because you don't know
Right.
what's going to happen, right? Life is unpredictable. Car accidents happen all the time, unfortunately. And you just can't, in my mind, you can't leave that up to fate, right? Pets are so important. And the unfortunate truth is that if we were to die, if my husband and I were to die in a car accident, our
Mhm.
pets would all go to animal control because that
Right.
is the only option unless a family member is available and ready to take those pets right away.
Right.
That breaks my heart. I mean, that's just like the worst outcome I can imagine, even though they do amazing work and they work really hard to rehome all the pets that come into their care. I just
Of
don't want that
course.
for my pets. So I want to make a plan. I think that's important at my age. I think it's obviously really important as you get older, because one of the things that I had thought about is, well, at age X, whatever that age might be, I'm not going to have animals anymore, because if
Right.
something happened to me, what would happen to them?
Right.
And I think that's kind of the beauty of this organization, is that it gives people that comfort in knowing, hey, I can really go adopt that pet, get them protected with AnimalCity, and then we can live our life and be happy together until something happens. And
Yeah.
it makes it so much better than the thought of living the last 20 years of my life, or however long I expect to live, without any pets. That
Right.
would be bad for me
Just for
emotionally.
that fear. Yeah, because if you plan ahead in this way, you don't have that fear. You
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 don't have that
already
fear.
know that they'll be taken care of regardless.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And that's
love that.
that's the goal, is, we just want there to be like, this is where the buck stops, and their care will be had, period. There's no other thing. So
That makes sense. Makes a
yeah.
lot of sense. So leads me to the next question. What
Okay.
happens to pets if there isn't a plan ultimately? And you
Sure.
kind of covered this,
Yeah.
but maybe you have experiences you can share that will really resonate with hopefully someone or lots of people, that just help it click like, oh yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Absolutely. I can definitely share a couple of experiences that I've had recently. We've been contacted by people who were not part of the AnimalCity program. A lady unfortunately passed away from brain cancer recently and left her two senior cats behind. She doesn't have any family in the area. And actually, I think a niece of hers had flown out to work on the estate, and that we got connected with her. And these poor girls were living in this house by themselves. They were being cared for. A neighbor lived 3 miles down the street, was coming up to care for them, but not like living with them. So just feeding them, keeping them physically alive.
Right.
But I can't, I mean, can you imagine the stress and chaos for these cats?
No.
Their house is being cleared out, their person is gone, and they're just alone most of the time. And we were
They don't know
fortunate,
what's going on.
and they don't
Yeah,
know
they
what's going on. And the niece, who is in California, is like, I can't do this. And her
yeah,
only really thought or option that she could think of was animal control, which
sure.
as we know, is not a great option. So we were fortunately able to get one of our fosters involved, and so they're with a foster right now. We're obviously still looking for a home, so anybody looking for some sweet senior cats, please
Oh
contact
my
me.
gosh. So I have two cats, and I saw your post about these cats, and I was like, I know I can't take them, but I
I
want them.
know.
They
It's heartbreaking.
they're so cute. And
They're very, yeah,
yeah, if anybody's looking for cats that has a loving home, please. Yeah.
exactly. These would be perfect cats for a retired couple, or people that are less active, because they're older. They just want to chill. They want to hang out. But this was all a very stressful situation for the niece, because it kind of got dumped on her and she didn't know what to do. She didn't have the resources. She didn't know. Had there been a plan in place, We could have gone in and got those cats out right away. They wouldn't have had to stay in this house for like a month by themselves, with all of this stress going on. And we could have helped a little bit sooner and made this transition a little bit easier for them. Another situation that we were partially involved with, we didn't actually do any rescuing, but we gave some direction, was 2 Labradors who had been with their person since they were 5 weeks old. They're 11 or 12 now. And unfortunately, the lady had to go into some memory care. She wasn't really capable of caring for her dogs. And it was breaking her heart. My heart was breaking for this woman and having to figure this out. And it was also a very stressful, very rushed, and we don't know what's happening. And fortunately, some really awesome people at Lucky Labs jumped in and found these sweet puppies, an adoptive family right away, which is like making me feel so good. But again, plan ahead for these things. These things, you know, as you're getting older, these things are going to start happening. And if you have a plan in place, it's going to make life so much easier for your heart and for your family around you as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know when I was working in the long-term care community, that came up a lot where, you know, this was the best community and home for that individual, but it was breaking their heart that they had to make a decision that would exclude their pet.
Yeah.
Right. And have you guys already have planned that with someone so that they know ahead of time, look, if I ever do move into a community, or this is maybe where I'm hoping life takes me. And I know it's the possibility that I can't take my pet. Just knowing what will happen ahead of time, I think would alleviate so much stress, anxiety, and really guilt of, I know this was just for me, but now my pet can't come with me, right? And that will still be taken care of and have a best home, you know.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that would have been great for a lot of my residents, I know. Always wondering, like, well, what happened to my dog? You know, I never did that.
I know.
Yeah, it's just, you know, that's not how you want to be thinking about it. So well, that's awesome. One other question that I have is, well, actually I have 2 other questions.
Okay.
What is the best way for someone to help you and your organization today? Like if they felt moved and they wanted to do something today for you guys, what would be the
easiest thing in the world? Everybody and their mother is on social media. All you have to do is give us a like and a follow, and like and you know, comment on some of our posts. We're really just trying to get our information out there to the world. If you feel motivated to donate, there's a donate button on our website. Go for it. I mean, that's not gonna hurt my feelings at all. But if that's not where you're at and you just want to give us a little like or a follow, man, that would be really appreciated.
Perfect. Well, I think since a lot of us practically live on our phone, that would be easy enough for us all to do and help with. So if you're watching this, maybe stop and go do that really quick.
Really quick. We're at AnimalCity Haven. It's on all of the Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of them. AnimalCity Haven. That's all you have to look for, and we'll pop right up.
Perfect. Awesome. And then my final question is, what does the future of AnimalCity look like to you?
That I love thinking about that question. It's my favorite question. I have really big fantasies, really big dreams, but I think the 2 pieces that I'm really excited about, well, there's actually 3. The outreach programs that I hope, there's a couple of outreach programs that we have that I hope will be happening within the next, say, 2 years. And one of them is helping seniors keep their pets longer. So, you know, just giving that day-to-day assistance, you know, lifting the stupid heavy bag of dog food and, you know, taking that pets to the vet or, you know, not. And then the other one is bringing pets into elder care facilities. And I think those 2 are really my jumping off point to my really big idea, which I don't know when I'll be able to make this happen, but I have a fantasy of having an elder care facility that is married with a rescue, and that the elder care people help
Yes.
take care of these rescue animals. And obviously match them up together and make sure that they're appropriate and all of that. But I have this beautiful dream that I would like to have happen at some point that kind of combines these kind of lost souls. I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people
Yeah.
going into elder care just kind of get left a little bit. And maybe that's my perception, but I want them to have some pets if they want them.
Right. I know that I had kind of a mixed bag of residents at any given time, depending on where I was at and why they chose to move in a given community. Some, people want really nothing to do with animals, and
Right.
some
Absolutely.
really thrive having animals of various types around. I was
Yeah.
surprised to see it doesn't always need to be dogs, which are great. Like my dog would be great just sitting next to somebody, just because he, like, as long as you're touching him,
Yeah.
right? But we even used to have some fairly, I guess, exotic animals. We had like a mini horse come through one time.
Oh,
It was really cool. Just something that maybe you wouldn't own and have in your house,
yeah.
but
Right.
some people just really love animals in general. I know I've seen some. Yeah, exactly. Like, I know I get so excited anytime I see a bunny. Like, that is just, I can't own one. I mean, I thought about it, but with cats, I don't know the dynamic. But anytime I see one, or if somebody will let me watch after one, I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
I think it just depends on the community, the individual. But yeah, certainly. I know when you told me this idea the first time we met, I was like, that is such a great idea. I love
It's
it.
a long term. This is not in the 5-year plan. This is more down the road a bit. But I think
Never know
it would
what life will bring.
exactly. I think it would be so cool to have a facility that was focused on allowing animals or having contact with animals or being, involved
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
animals. So
Yeah, and every community is a little bit different. So, what they allow today, maybe we can change over time too, to allow
it's a beautiful idea, Elizabeth. I love that.
I like what you're saying.
That.
So, well, thank you so much, Leah, for sharing today and telling the world what you guys have to offer. And hopefully, as you continue forward, what you are growing into. And don't forget to go follow, like, share all the good things on social media pages. And do you want to do one last plug for that?
Animal City Haven.
Animal City Haven. And yeah, thanks so much for chatting with me today.
I appreciate it, Elizabeth. Thanks for having me today.